Okay, I think we're live. Okay, I believe we're live. If you're here, if you can please send me a note or a little on the chat, because I had to redo my live because I stopped it. So it's a whole different, what's the word? It's a whole different link. So yeah, if you could please let me know if you're here, I would really appreciate that. And yeah, I am so sorry. I do not know what I have got, this black cloud around me that just technology in me is just nothing is working. It's just, I am just, yeah. So give me a couple more seconds. I want to make sure that I saw other people waiting in the other live. So I just want to maybe put a note out somewhere saying that you need to go back and go, go out and go back in. But I don't know if I can reach anybody. So just, like I said, just give me a couple more seconds. Thank you so much for your patience. Give me just a second. Oh, I'm seeing somebody. Lori. Okay, good. Hi, Lori. I'm glad you could find me. Sorry about this. Like I said, I, for some reason, clicked the wrong button. I was trying to click different screen, camera views, and I clicked and broadcast. So my first live was like, I don't know, 8 seconds or something like that. Oh, thanks, Lori. Okay, so basically, you have to, I don't know how that worked, Lori. Did you have to like go out and come back in to find it, or was it under the same link? I wasn't sure how that worked. So then I guess I know for the next time if this happens again, but I probably will never do that again, right? You learn by mistakes. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for joining. Okay, so my name's Alicia Markford. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I live in St. Paul, Minnesota. It is a fabulous 42 degrees. Lori, I believe it was a new link. That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah. All right. I know that there were 3 people waiting on the other one. I'm not sure if that other person... You're getting an echo? Lori, are you getting an echo? I'm not sure. I'm not getting any echo. So let me know, because this is a whole new system than my Friday live. This is new camera, new setup, everything. No echo from Lori. Okay. All right, so today is Coffee Break and Cards with Lish. Let's take a drink of coffee. It's too bad it's not a little bit stronger than this. I'm just kidding. Okay, Debbie, sounds good. See you in a bit. All right, today I am going to show you this super cute picnic basket made with the Cute as a Bug suite. It is absolutely adorable, and when we're done making this one at the end, I will show you 2 other baskets that I made with Easter Joy Suite and a new March online exclusive. So I hope you can stay till the end. So let's switch cameras and not hit end broadcast. All right, here we go. I think this is the right view. Yep. All right. So this right here is the basket. Debbie, I'm okay now. For some reason, I had you on twice. Oh, I suppose because of, my live going, I ended it and started it. Yeah. Okay, so this is our picnic basket that we are going to make today. It is so cute. It has this hinged lid and it is attached. It has some little, looks like little picnic napkins sticking out, and this will hold cards and treats. It has this cute tag on it. So cute. Oh, I just love this. I have never made a picnic basket before. I just thought, oh my gosh. Yeah, so cute. All right, so let's get started. So the first, okay, oh, before we get going, sorry. If you belong to, if you're on my newsletter, if you're on that list, you will receive the instructions and the measurements for this picnic basket, okay? If you're not signed up for my newsletter, send me a message and I'll get a link to you. Isn't it cute, Lori? Oh, just so cute. I love everything with this Cute as a Bug suite. But yeah, if you would like to be on my newsletter, it's free. Doesn't cost you a thing. You just get an email from me. Generally, it's like probably twice a week. You'll get a newsletter once a week, and then I send out some, like after coffee break and cards, you'll get another newsletter, an email with the instructions and things like that, or a reminder to watch my video. You know, they're just maybe the most you'd ever get would be 3 emails a week. But yeah, so if you do sign up for my newsletter, I attach to the email, the newsletter is a PDF that's attached for the instructions. So please sign up for my newsletter. I mean, it's great. It's free and you get to get some free ideas. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to start with our box bottom, okay? Normally I have like a card or something in the screen so you can see what we're making, but I don't know if I can with this one. Yeah, I don't know. It might be in the way. We'll see. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we are going to take a piece of early espresso cardstock that is 10.5 by 8 1/4, okay? And we are going to score this at 1 3/4 on each side, okay? And this is for the bottom. It's a basic bottom box, okay? So we are going to score it all the way around at 1 3/4. Okay, just like that. I use a little bit of a heavier hand when I'm scoring cardstock and a lighter hand when I'm scoring DSP. Don't go too hard because you will cut your paper if you go too hard. But I go a little bit heavier on cardstock. Stampin' Up has a very high quality weight cardstock. Okay? And we are done with that. So yeah, easy. This is just the bottom of the box. It's a basic and bottom. Okay? We're going to set that aside. Then we are going to take, this will be the top of the box, which will be our hinged lid. I just love a hinged lid. This is just so cool. I've made one other hinged box before. Well, I don't know if it was hinged. It wasn't attached. One side stayed attached. I think the other side came up. But whatever, it wasn't a basket. But I just like it when it's something just a little bit different and the seam's kind of fancy because the lid stays on. I don't know. Okay, so we have our crumb cake cardstock, and this is 8 5/8 by 6 1/2. Okay, now there are 16ths in this. Okay, so we are going to score it at 13/16 on each side. Okay, so let's see, we are going to start at 13/16. Now 13, I'm looking at my cheat sheet. 13/16 is one dash line after 3/4. Okay, so if you go to 3/4 and just go 1 dash, that's 13/16. Okay, so we are going to score that. Okay, we're going to turn it and do that again. And again. Like I said, we're going all the way around. Okay. So how's everybody today? For some reason, I just, I was fine up until 2 o'clock. No, I'm good. I'm good. It's 42 degrees here and sunny. What more can you ask for, right? Okay, so now we've scored at 13/16 all the way around. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to score at, okay, now I've made 4 of these now, and you would think I would know it by heart. All right, so we want to score at, I'm looking at my directions here, at 3 15/16 in from each short side. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to, because you want to make down the center for the hinge. Okay, so if we go to the 3 and then 15/16 is almost to another inch, so you're gonna go all the way to the 4 but back up 1. So it's 1 dash before the 4. That is 3 15/16. Okay, and you're going to score it, and then you're going to take your paper and you're going to turn it around and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to go to, you know, well, let's say you go to 3 3/4 and then 3 dashes, and that's a 15/16. Pretty fancy, huh? The measurement of a 1/16 has never bothered me, but some people struggle with it. Yeah, see, I'm better with the 1/8, but the 16ths, I think it's just because it sounds like huge, it just throws me for a loop. Okay, and I have a cheat sheet, so yeah, thank God for cheat sheets, right? Okay, so that's all that we need to do for our lid. And then we're gonna cut it. Okay, so it's pretty, I mean, when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to make this. It's pretty darn easy. So we're going to start with our bottom, okay, and basically we're going to make notches. Now I don't know if you can see here, this different camera. So you're basically, you know, we're cutting notches right here. We're not cutting it out. We're making flaps. Okay? So you're just going to go from your score line up to the next score line. And you are going to miter it or angle cut it a slight amount so that everything folds together nicely. Because if you leave that, sometimes the fold will be a little off and then you have to struggle with it. Excuse the phone ring there. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to do the other side. And we're going to cut up. And then we're going to go again and miter that edge. Okay, how's everybody doing? Are we following along okay? All right, so now we're going to do again and we're going to cut. Okay, and I would like to get all the cutting out of the way. So I'm going to move on to the lid. Okay, this one we're going to do the same thing. We are going to make little tabs or flaps. Okay, I'm going to start with the middle right here, and we're going to just cut up and we're going to cut up, but I'm not going to miter these middle ones. Okay, then we're going to go to the next one on the end and we're just going to cut up to that score line and we're going to do a slight miter. Okay, and on the other end we are going to cut up to that score line and we're going to make a slight miter. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're just going to turn it around in the middle. We're going to cut up to the score line but not miter it. Okay, then we're going to do another cut up for another tab and a slight angle. Okay, Lori is watching intensely. Well, hey Kim, how are you? I'm glad you found me. I hope it wasn't too hard. I mistakenly stopped my broadcast today. Oh boy. Okay, so we're going to cut up to that score line and we're going to miter the edge. Okay, so we have the cutting done that we need to cut. Kim, you're good. Okay, good. And we are going to go back to our bottom and we are going to fold and burnish all of our scores that we made. Okay, just like that. You could just fold them if you'd like. When I'm making a 3D project, I really like to use my bone folder and burnish those. That way when you go to put your project together, you have nice crisp lines and everything just holds together easier. It goes together better. You're not fighting with that crease. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing to our top. And we are just going to fold and burnish all of our score lines. Okay. So, not sure where everybody's watching from today, but here today it's 42 degrees. By Saturday it's supposed to be 50. It is so lovely out today. Yes, it really is, Lori. It's just so, so nice. So it's just like, and I know it's February and we're gonna get more snow and whatever, but boy, I'm sure enjoying this right now. It is so nice. Okay, so we almost have everything folded and burnished. I think I got oh, I missed this one right here. Just makes life just a little bit easier. Yeah. Okay, so I have everything there. So now we are going to put our bottom box together. I'm going to take liquid glue. You can use tear and tape if you'd like, but I prefer to use liquid glue because it's more forgiving. It will really hurt. Yes, I was saying that yesterday. I had taken a neighbor to a doctor's appointment yesterday, and we were talking about the weather because it was really nice when we left his appointment yesterday. And I said, yeah, wait till tournament time. And we both were thinking that at the same time. Yeah. Basketball tournament, high school basketball tournament, and hockey tournament, right? It's a very Minnesota thing. Okay, so I'm just gluing these together. Just like that. And I'm just putting my flap over and just running glue on it, just like this, and then like this. And then you, of course, with liquid glue, you just have to hold it for a second, or you could put a clip like this on that and then go, if you're, you want to go a little bit faster. You don't need to because it does glue relatively, or sticks relatively fast. All right, so we got this. And this would be really cute too if you wanted to line the inside of your box. This would be fun. Like, you could just do like a basic white liner and do like a greeting in it, like hello, whatever. Or the DSP from the Cute as a Bug. Oh, that would be really cute. I just thought of that now. Okay, so now we want to fold in this one, and we're going to put some glue here, just like this. Okay, and we are going to fold that in. I'm just trying to get it straight. Like I said, it is a lot easier when everything is folded and burnished and those corners are mitered. Okay, so the only thing that will be different with this is we are not going to glue these to anything yet. Not yet. So you want to do the same thing. We're going to fold these tabs over, add some glue, either liquid glue or tear and tape works, or if you like the Seal Plus, you could use Seal Plus. Just something that, you know, is sturdy. I must not have burnished this right here. So you can really tell the difference when you go to glue something together. It's different when you just fold it and you burnish it. Alright, so we're going to do that. We're going to hold this for a second just to make sure. I think I got overconfident today with myself, with my technology. Sorry, I'm still thinking about my mishap. And I'm assuming the phone rang. I don't know if you guys heard that earlier. Pretty sure it was my mom. So I don't know if she couldn't find my live. I can hear Paul talking, so I'm not sure if that's why she called or not. And I know my Aunt Peggy called me today to say that she was bummed because she was going to miss the live and she really wanted to see this put together live. And I said, well, you can watch the replay. And she goes, yeah, I know, but then I can't chat with the people and with you. I thought that was so cute. She's going out to lunch with a friend of hers that she has been friends with since before that was her roommate before she got married. And Kim has been in her wedding and they have been friends forever. And Kim's not in town very often. And so I said, well, I'm glad you chose to go to lunch and not, you know, you can watch my thing anytime. Okay, so now we have our top of our box put together, okay? And then this just sits right over the top. It does, I promise. Okay. Except for you want the flaps on the outside, so let's take these and put these up like this. And let's get this baby on here. All right. Okay, so now you see, does not look goofy? Okay, so we are going to glue these tabs to the bottom box, to the early espresso. Okay, so I am going, this is probably the trickiest thing out of the whole entire box, and it's not even that tricky. Just takes a little bit of patience. Okay, so you see I've got the glue here, okay, and then if you push too hard, you're not going to get, you know, it's going to, the box is going to go in on itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this side and I'm going to hinge it up like this. I'm going to fold it back just so that I know, because you want to keep your lid in its place. And then I'm going to take my fingers like this and I'm just going to squeeze that down, being careful not to glue it to the other crumb cake part. And we're just going to hold it. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. And I'm just going to set this down like this. And we're going to turn it around. And we're going to put some glue on here. Like this. So when you guys do your like 3D projects, do you use liquid glue or do you use tear and tape? Or is it both, whatever the project is? So I'm going to take this, do the same thing. So I'm going to pull this over. I'm going to make sure my lid's in place. And I am going to make sure you don't glue it to the other thing. And then I'm just going to take my fingers and I'm just going to pinch it together. So like I said, this is the thing that, but it's just patience. That's it. You just have to take your time with it. Okay. So now, there, we have the bottom part all put together. We have our hinge, just like that. Then you can kind of see the inside. So, okay. So this is our box. Pretty easy, huh? So now we want to take and we want to decorate our box and we want to add the handle. So I did this ahead of time. Okay. And you're going to take your crumb cake. Okay. This is 11 by 3/4. Okay. And I am going to take this and I am going to, we want it to loosen up a little bit, so to speak. And then I am going to attach this to those glue tabs we just glued down. Okay. So I'm going to flip this up and I'm going to keep this on the box together. And I'm going to add glue right to this tab. Okay. But then I want it to stick to the box, just not the lid. So I am taking my glue and I am just going down, you can see that, like this, but I don't want to go past that tab mark. So I'm just kind of making a little rectangle with my glue. Okay, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to hold that on and see that fits right in between right here. And we're just going to hold that for a little bit. And it's going to be kind of the same thing, but it will be a little bit better because we have this stuck down to the bottom. My internet dropped, so I will rewatch what I missed later. Oh, it must be a day for technology, huh, Lori? Okay, I'm just going to make sure that we have that good and stuck. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We are going to take it, we're going to flip it, and we're going to make our rectangle of glue, just like this, not going past because we don't want any glue there. And we're going to take our strip of crumb cake, I'm going to line that up at the bottom and make sure that it's, so you know me, and straight as I can get, right? Straight for me is, you know, okay. And I want to make sure that I can, if I need to push it up a little bit, I can. That's why I like using the liquid glue for this stuff. All right. Isn't that cute? I think that is so stinking cute. All right. It always amazes me what you can make with just paper and glue, right? I don't know if you guys watch Minnesota Live at all in the mornings on Channel 5. This morning, I talk to my mom every morning and we were talking and all of a sudden I looked up at the TV and Minnesota Live was on, and here was a woman demonstrating how to make homemade Valentine cards. And I was like, oh my gosh, Mom, turn it to 5. And she was making like Z-fold cards and all the, like an easel card, all these fun full, you know, different Valentine cards. She wasn't like with a company or anything like that. She just had a bunch of card making supplies. You watched it, Debbie? Yeah. Wasn't that cool? I thought that was so neat. And I said to Mom, I said, yep, that will be me when I'm 80. I'll be on Minnesota Live showing how to make Valentine cards. It was so awesome. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I had to take a sip of my coffee. Yeah, it was so cool. Okay, so now we're going to take some crumb cake panels that I have already cut, and what I did was I embossed them with the plaid embossing folder, and then I just went around the edges with my blending brush with crumb cake. You could definitely use your sponge daubers. If I would do this again, I would use my sponge daubers. It would have gone a lot easier. And we're going to attach these to our lid. Yeah, Debbie, I know for some reason I said, oh, Mom, I'm so sorry. I totally interrupted what we were talking about. But it was so cool. Okay, so now I'm going to add some seal to my embossed panels. And I'm being careful because it is embossed. And with the seal, you can rip your paper. Okay, so we're just going to take this and we're going to go, we have these score lines in between the hinge. And we're just going to lay that down. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. And being careful not to rip my paper. And if you do, it's okay because it's not like it will put a hole in it. Alright. I just like the look of that little bit of extra ink on there. It kind of makes it stand out. Okay, then you're going to have 3 strips, also embossed. They're the same size and then inked with crumb cake. Okay, one will go in the center, and then these are for the sides right here. Okay. Lori, one side is stationary. No, both sides go up. Isn't that cool that one side, you know, that they both go up? I like that. I have, like I said, I've made them before where it was just one side of the box opened, but this one both sides go up. I'm always amazed when people come up with this stuff. Okay, so now we're going to put this one in the middle, just like so. Down. I'm going to do the same thing with the other two. And I also inked these up with crumb cake just on the edges. I didn't go, you know, all over. I just went around the edges. Cool. Yeah, isn't that neat, Lori? I think it's pretty neat. And we're just going to put these on the sides. Just like that. And just like that. Alright, so now we have this part done. Now I cut, well, I thought I cut 4. I'm one short. Oh well. You will need to cut 4 of the same size. Again, there I used the plaid embossing folder and I inked it with the crumb cake. And now what I did in my folder, because this is a bigger embossing folder, I cut my paper ahead, you know, ahead. Let's move it this way. And then I laid the pieces in here and then ran it through instead of taking a big sheet and cutting it apart. I couldn't get all of the pieces to fit at once, but almost all of them. So that's how I embossed that. Okay, so I'm just going to add these 3 pieces I have because I lost the 4th one, but you will add 4. And now if you wanted to, you could use DSP on your box. You wouldn't have to use the same crumb cake. I mean, you could emboss it, I suppose, but this just looks so cool like this. You'll see my other baskets that I made at the end that I did use DSP, so. I could have just kept making these the other day. You know, I had made the first one quite a while ago, and then I thought, oh geez, I better make another one of these so I remember what I'm doing. And so I made another one of the Cute as a Bug, and then I thought, oh god, I want to make some other ones. And I could have definitely just kept making them. Okay, Then your next decorating is your little napkins or sticking out. Okay, so you're going to take 2 pieces of DSP and we're going to cut these right down the center but at an angle to make a triangle. Now, if you want to, you can cut to go all the way around the box. You would cut 4 of these, okay? I did add extra on mine to see what it would look like, and I liked it, but it is cute just having the on the corners. Okay, so I'm just going to place my DSP square right here. I'm going to put my blade in the middle so that I don't crunkle my end. Is that a word? Crunkle? And I'm just going to go like that. And we have 2 triangles. And we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to take my blade. I'm going to go like that so that I don't either rip or smash the edges. Okay, so then what we're going to do, you can see I need to work on my camera view because like the camera must be crooked because it looks a little bit crooked. And so I still need to work on a few things. Okay, I'm going back to my liquid glue and I'm going to put these only just because I need a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to lift the lid of your box. Okay, and you are going to take your triangle of DSP and you're going to put it right here and you are going to move that to the top of the box like so, and just smooth it down, and then you're going to turn it this way because we're going to put one, we're going to make a corner. I'm going to take my glue. I just love this DSP. I love anything with a check. Oh, so cool. Yes, I totally agree, Lori. 100%. I would love this in all the colors. Ugh, yes. Okay, so now we're taking it. We're going on the other corner. And with the liquid glue, I can still kind of futz with it. And we're just putting that down. Like so. And then when you close your lid, oh look at I didn't glue that down very good, did I? I didn't get my seal all the way to the end. Lisha. Alright, so there we have our corner. Okay, so now we have our opposite corner. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to take our, I keep wanting to grab my seal. We're going to take our liquid glue. You don't need a ton, but because it does, you know, flatten out when you smush it, right? Kind of goes out, oozes. Okay, so we're going to line this up. Just like that. And then we're going to put glue on the other little triangle. Okay. And we're going to put this on the other side here to make our corner. I just love this so much. Alright. Okay, so now we have, you can see here, one there and one there. Don't ask me how, but I finally found you. Oh, hi, Mom. You know, I was worried about that because my first live, instead of hitting the different camera view, I hit end broadcast. So I had to start all over from scratch. And because I panicked a little bit, I didn't have a link to send out to people. And it was like, I should have taken the time to do that, but I didn't. But I'm glad you found me anyway. Okay, so there is our box. And we got both hinges. Go up. And now to decorate it, we're going to add a tag. And I've already cut everything out and stamped what we wanted. And then we are going to cut our own tag. It's very easy, simple, simple. You only told me YouTube. Oh yeah, in the email that I sent out was a link, and it was on my Facebook page, the link. But okay, so I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to make a triangle at the top. See that? It's not a very big one. I'm just going to cut, but now don't throw that triangle away or let it go flying, because you're going to use it. And you're going to put this on the other side as a template, and you're going to put it back up, or you're going to put it in the right corner like so. Okay, and you're going to cut following that line. That way you get an even tag. Okay, and then what you're gonna, I have 2 other pieces of DSP from the Cute as a Bug. I just love this fruit paper. Oh, so cute. What we're gonna do is we're going to make sure those are even at the top. Okay. Then I'm going to flip this over. Can you see? And I'm going to cut along those lines. So that way it's the same on both sides. Like that. And this is nice if you don't have a tag die or punch and you just want to make a quick tag. It's very easy to do. Okay. So now we have our tag. I'm going to take the hole punch from the assorted punches. Comes 3 in a pack. And this is 1/8 of an inch. And again, I'm going to make sure these are all together at the top. And then I'm just going to punch a little hole. You can use any hole punch, it doesn't matter, but this is the one I'm using today. And I'm not going to go right at the tippy top. I'm going to go in a little bit. And we're going to punch, and there we have our hole. Alright. So now we have our... And then what I did was I took a piece of basic white and I stamped in Tuxedo Black Memento ink Spread Joy. And this is from the Sweet Bugs stamp set. And then I'm going to banner end this. I'm looking for my scissors here. Okay. And I'm going to cut a little bit off of this. It seems kind of long. I'm just going to trim a little bit off of the end. And then I'm going to go with my scissors. I'm going to make a cut in the middle. And then I'm going to go from the left at the corner. I put my blade at the corner. And then I'm going to snip up to that, the cut I made. Then I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to do the same thing from the left. And I'm going to go up. And there you have your banner. Okay, and then this is going to get a hole. I didn't punch them all together because this one doesn't have to specifically line up. But I'm going to punch a hole in there. And it's a little off center, but that's okay. Who's going to know, right? Alright, so now we have that. That's all ready to go. Then I have a piece of linen thread, and this is going to go through our tag. And then I have a piece of this old olive rickrack. And this is going to go under our basket and over the handle. And there's no gluing. I am just going to tie it. This stuff is so great. It's so soft. You know how sometimes rickrack, or, well, this isn't necessarily rickrack, but it's so stiff. This is not. I don't know if you've used this yet, but this is another one of those that I wish it was in more colors. Okay, so we're just going to take this and I'm just going to tie this together, making sure that it's straight on my handle. Just like so. And we're just going to go like that, and then I'm going to go make sure it's on the bottom. It's even. And then we're just going to tie a bow. So this is easy to work with because it's not so stiff. And it ties nice, I think. For this type of ribbon, usually the embellishment ribbon, you know, the scallopy stuff. But this makes really nice bows, and it's not super thick. I just love it. Like I said, I just wish it was in all the colors of the rainbow. Okay, we're just going to cut that off. Then we're going to take our linen thread, and we're going to put this through our tag, just like this. Alright, and then we're going to add our little sentiment. Okay, like that. It does fray a little bit. When you cut it, it does fray. Because it is, you know, that type. So it does fray a little bit. Not too bad though. Okay, so now I have my linen thread through my tag. I am going to take the bottom and I am going to just slip that underneath my old olive here. Okay, and then I'm going to lift this up just like that, and then I'm going to tie in another bow. Just like so. Then I'm going to actually decorate. I'm going to put a little thing on there, but I'm using dimensionals so you don't, you know, have to have it down. You could decorate it first and then tie it on. Okay, and then we're going to make another bow with our linen thread. I love this linen thread so much. I like how it gets a little bit of curlicue on it. Alright, and then we're going to trim this. Okay, so now we have our tag, and then I like to kind of spread them apart a little bit so you can see the other pieces. And I want my sentiment to go this way like that. You see that? Okay, so I'm just going to hold it there like that, and then this one I put the bumblebee on there, and the die cuts match the DSP for some of the critters, so I cut the bumblebee right out of the DSP on this one. And then I thought, you know, because it's a picnic basket, it might be kind of cute with the ants, and the ants also you can cut out. There's this cute little grasshopper cricket guy we could use too. I cut him out, and you can put him on there. Maybe that will do that guy. Yeah, I think we'll do this guy. I like this guy. He's got a little red on there, matches that red. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals. And I'm just going to put one on there, just like so. And I'm just going to put him right on the tag. Okay. And I suppose if you wanted to, you could add the smallest little ant. Because there's like the bugle. I love these guys. There's like the bugler, the flag holder, and then the little guy following. Like, hey, come on, follow us. We know where all the food is. Alright. And then what else did I cut out? Oh, more ants. More ants. Oh, this ladybug sitting is so cute. She's reading a book. Oh, and then I have these little mushrooms you can cut out too. Out of the DSP with the dies. Oh, there's a bumblebee. I could do it the same, but that's alright. All right, do we want the little mushrooms on there? Nah, we're just gonna leave it like that, because then what I'm gonna do is I am going to look for my embellishments that go with this suite. And it's so, so cute. And we're gonna put a little ladybug on there. Aren't these neat? I love these. Aren't they cool? They're like little dewdrops. They're clear and they look like little dewdrops, so you can put them on the little flowers and stuff. And then they have all these ladybugs and they're like glossy and they're raised just a little bit. They're cool, huh? Alright, let's grab the ones that we've been using. Okay, and I'm just gonna peel one of these guys off. And we're just gonna put him right at the bottom right here. Just like so. Then I'm gonna spread these apart again, just a little. I don't want it too much. And then I'm gonna take a dimensional and I'm going to slip it underneath my tag, my little banner, my sentiment banner. And I'm gonna put it right there. Put there. So now they kind of stay together. This one's still a little loose, but that's all right. It doesn't need to be. You could write something on there. That's why I wanted the white with the other ones. There is a method to my madness. Okay, so there's your box, guys. What do you think? And it does hold, like I said, it does hold cards and envelopes. So you could put cards and envelopes in there. They don't go this way, you have to put them in this way. And it holds quite a bit. This would be really cute to put little treats in it too. So that's our picnic basket. What do you guys think? You think you'd like to make one of these? I think it's so fun. So, so fun. I'm probably going to leave this in my craft room as a display. I just love it so, so much. Thanks, Kim. Oh, thanks, Lori. Yeah, I just think that's so cute. Okay, so as I said at the beginning, I did make some other ones. I made this one with the Easter Joy Suite. Isn't that cute? With this paper, the DSP, if you haven't seen it or you don't own it yet, there is a piece of DSP that looks like a basket weave. So instead of a cardstock bottom, I used the DSP. Now this DSP, it is a specialty paper, so it's a little bit thicker. So it is sturdy. And then I used the paper instead of, before I used the cardstock on this one and embossed it, I used the DSP for this. And then I used that really pretty blue gingham ribbon. Oh my gosh, Lori, that would be fun to use seed packets with it. Yeah, that's a cute idea. And then I used the paper for the side. There is a plaid paper in this set of DSP. So there's here and here. And see, because you used the DSP bottom, you have this as your liner on the inside. Isn't that cute? Then I used petal pink for the lid. And then the tag, I stamped one of the bunnies and an Easter egg. And then there in the die set is a little scallop. And I put that underneath my sentiment that says for you. And then with the embellishments, there's little gingham Easter eggs. They're real tiny. I don't know if you can see them. And then I used some of the lemon lolly little dots. And so there's the Easter one. And then coming out in March for the online exclusives, I'm looking for my set here. I have the stamp set. I want to pull it out before I show you. It is called, this new bundle is called Filled with Sweetness. It is awesome. The DSP is so, so cute. And these are the stamps. And then these are the dies. So you have the card-shaped jar. And then I love all the little banner cuts and the scallop, and there's even a spoon to cut out. Isn't that cute? There's another and another, little flowers, little heart. Oh, I just love, this is like this is my jam, right? Okay, so then I made this one with the March online exclusives that are coming out. So this ribbon is new. Isn't that cool? That check pattern. And then this is from the DSP. And it has a bunch of fruit jars. And then here's some more of that DSP. And it's got the little white daisies and little ladybugs. And then it also has a gingham. It's Misty Moonlight, I believe, and white. Isn't that cool? So for my lid, I use Secret Sea. Oh, I love Secret Sea. That's my new favorite color. And then the bottom is Strawberry Slush. And then my tag, I fussy cut one of the jam jars from a piece of the DSP. And then I used the gingham that matches that. And then I used a piece of the DSP from this. And then one of the stamps, I used the die cut label, and then the stamp says homemade for you. And then the embellishments are similar to the Easter ones. These are little strawberries, but they're not that clear epoxy. They're, oh no, they're like the Easter ones. Yeah, I was thinking ladybugs. They're just like the Easter ones. They're kind of that rubbery. And there's a strawberry, and then here's the strawberry slush little circles. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, you guys. Like I said, I could have just kept going. So many cute ideas. I'm seeing if I have those embellishments right here. Yeah, here they are. This is a March online exclusive that's coming out in March. Aren't they cool? Oh my gosh, I just love them. They're called Strawberries and Dots. Yeah, and I love this new ribbon. You outdid yourself. Each one. Oh, thanks, Lori. No, I didn't do a Valentine one. I should have, but I didn't. I knew I really wanted to make an Easter one, and I knew I really wanted to use this because I've been dying to cut into this paper. And I thought, oh, I have an excuse now. I can make a picnic basket with it. So, thank you guys again for being patient with me. And, yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. I so appreciate you so much. And, yeah, there's your picnic baskets. And if you have get my newsletter, you will receive the instructions. Probably, I always say by the end of the week, so like by Saturday, if not Sunday. So by the end of the weekend, let's say that, I usually get another newsletter out with the instructions for coffee break and cards with Lish. So all right, you guys, well, I'm gonna sign off. Thanks for joining. I hope you have a great rest of your week and weekend, and a very happy Valentine's Day on Saturday. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later. Bye.